Kristine Sa xin kính chào quý khán thính giả của đài truyền hình VN TV và hôm nay cũng xin chào đón quý vị vào chương trình The Kristine Sa Show. Kính thưa quý vị, hôm nay Kristine rất là hân hạnh xin được chào đón người khách mời đại diện cho hội từ thiện Love Across the Ocean. Kính thưa quý vị, Kristine Sa xin giới thiệu anh Cubi Nguyen. Xin kính chào Cubi.
Kính chào quý vị.
First of all, cảm ơn Cubi rất nhiều. Cố gắng nói tiếng Việt chung với Kristine. It's always a funny scene in my show because myself and the guests are always struggling to speak Vietnamese. So thank you, thank you. I do know that the parents at home really appreciate that. And today we're going to talk a lot about parents and children and kids and of the Vietnamese community as well as Vietnam, the community here in the US and in Vietnam. Because we're talking today about what you and I are both wearing, which is Love Across the Ocean. So, Cubi, you're here today representing Love Across the Ocean.
Right.
I figure let's you and I first answer the question, what is Love Across the Ocean?
Love Across the Ocean is a organization that my sister Leyna started in 1997. However, the work started prior to that, but we became a charity in 1997. It's a charity that helps, well, it started out when Leyna went to Vietnam back in 1991. And
well, how about we pause just there and just quickly mention a little bit about Leyna, because we're kind of glazing over her name right now. But thưa quý vị, tên Leyna Nguyen là một tên là chúng ta rất là quen thuộc. Leyna Nguyen, you know, we'll just quickly mention two-time Emmy award-winning journalist, 3 times now.
3 times.
Oh my goodness. You know, the last time I spoke about her, it was 2, now there's 3. I feel like next week we're going to call her the 4-time Emmy award-winning journalist, and I'll be more than proud to say that about her because I feel like she represents the Vietnamese woman so well, you know. But Leyna, a very familiar name. Leyna, many years ago, began Love Across the Ocean, and that's what we're talking about so casually right now, right? Because Cubi, you are Leyna's brother, correct?
I am her younger brother.
Younger brother.
Not much, but younger.
Okay, so we won't go into the realm of what that actual number is, but let's go back now. So as we're talking about that, so Leyna, you say, in 1997 began Love Across the Ocean.
Right, because the first time she had gone back to Vietnam was 1991, and from what she saw over there, the living conditions and the conditions of the school and everything, that's why she felt like, hey, you know, this is something we need to do. So when she came back to the U.S., she had talked to me and said, hey, you know, this is how we would be living had it not been that we came to America. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that's when I started to get involved as well. And this is where we made the decision of giving back to where we came from and the community that we would be living in if we weren't here.
So it's been a good number of years, right, from 1997 till now. Somehow I had the feeling that Love Across the Ocean has only been around for 2-3 years, but that's not true, huh?
No, not at all. We've been around since 1997. You know, it's just been a long process, but we're here. We're here to stay.
It has come a long way, and I did take a look at a number of pictures that Leyna had sent me before for another piece that I did on her. Just taking a look at the work that they've done there, and it looks like there's quite the gathering of people that are in need of this help. And we'll talk more, I guess, about the idea of helping and charity and, you know, what these loaded words mean. But overall, so that is Love Across the Ocean. Now I want to know how exactly it works.
Well, how it works is currently, you know, we do a lot of functions and a lot of events that generate donations, that generate money that we can actually take back to Vietnam and to help the communities and the people over there. And it's the, you know, it's the people not only in Vietnam, but also Leyna also helps the communities here in the U.S. as well.
Okay, so this is news to me. Love Across the Ocean also helps Vietnamese communities here. Can you explain more about what they do?
Yeah, and actually it's not just the Vietnamese community here in Southern California, but it's refugees of all nationalities.
Oh.
Yeah, so what we do is we gather donations, whether it be monetary, clothing, or household goods, and we help the new refugees that come to the U.S., no matter what nationality.
How do you qualify for this? I mean, how does a group of people say, I am in need, can Love Across the Ocean help me?
Well, the other nonprofits that we work with, that's where we get a lot of information. And so they come to us and they say, hey, you know, we got this family, or people are always writing to Leyna anyways, from different charities or even personal letters or emails to Leyna, and then, you know, we just help whoever we can locally as well. So.
So right now it's just sort of reach out to Leyna and do your best to explain the situation.
Absolutely.
So may I ask Cubi then, how many people are involved right now besides yourself and Leyna? It seems to be a family affair so far.
Well, you know what? I guess you could consider me full-time and Leyna as well. But we do have a lot of volunteers, and it's not just locally here, but all over the United States. We have people, and a lot of them are, you know, family and friends, such as my parents. My parents got to retire early, and now they personally oversee a lot of the projects that are done in Vietnam, because they spend most of their time over there in Vietnam.
I see. And I'm guessing that the language barrier is a lot easier for your parents.
Oh yeah, because obviously they can speak it better than I can.
But we were talking about this. We were talking about how many times you've been back to Vietnam, and may I replay the moment, you very confidently went, 11.
11 times I've been back to Vietnam, 11 times.
Right.
Since.
Let me ask you then, since we're talking about your trips back, about your personal connection to this. Why are you so personally invested?
Well, you know, like I had mentioned earlier, Leyna came back to the U.S. after her first time in '91, which is 3 years prior to my first time. And, you know, we're a very close-knit family. And not only that, Leyna can be a little strict sometimes, but she told me about it. And, you know, once I got to see it myself, I think my heart goes out to all those people in Vietnam that need the help. So my personal connection to that is, you know what, that's where I would be if I wasn't here in America. That's where I came from. That's where my parents came from. So that's why I feel like, hey, you know, I need to dedicate my time and energy into giving back to the community.
May I ask, what did you see?
Well, you know what, I saw people that needed help, whether it be clothing, food, or shelter. You know,
Meaning there was really a lack of clothing that you were able to notice it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, when you see, you know, when you go to visit these schools and you see the kids maybe wearing the same thing for days in a row, or you see that their clothing is torn or you know, just not very clean or something, it touches you.
Right,
you know?
right.
It hits you, and it hits you hard.
Right. Because here we sort of take that for granted, huh?
Absolutely. I think here in America, you know, it'd be kind of weird to wear the same shirt twice, you know, 2 days in a row.
Unless you're promoting Love Across the Ocean.
And that's why I got like, you know, 30 of these myself.
You know, I was telling Cubi before we shot the show that I've been wearing this shirt to death out because I feel like I want people to ask. I want people to go, oh, cute shirt, Love Across the Ocean. What does that mean? Are you like a hippie? Is it like a love thing? I'm like, no, it's an organization, and you know, in support of educational help in Vietnam, and I go on and on about it. But still, I want to know more. And the reason why we're talking about your personal connection is, it's important for myself, and I think it's important for especially our young viewers. This is actually the other reason why we're speaking all the way through in English right now, because I feel like perhaps there are some young viewers in the Vietnamese American community that aren't so connected with what's happening.
Right.
Myself included when I was growing up, so, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, I came to the U.S. when I was 3.
Right.
So, you know, I had to connect to my culture and my country of Vietnam for the very first time in 1994. And so when I go over there and I see what I saw, that's when you think, wow, this is really who I am. And I think it's important for the generations, whether they're born here or born in Vietnam, the younger generation, to know where they came from and the history of who they are.
It is important that we talk. I feel like it's important that we talk about the things that we sort of take for granted here. If I'm wearing the same thing twice, the joke is, oh, I didn't do my laundry. You know?
Right.
It's not necessarily because I don't have enough clothes, you know? And even what we consider growing up poor here is not the same as growing up poor there.
Right.
There being Vietnam is what we're talking about right now.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, once you see it firsthand, I think it's amazing what you realize what you have here in America. You come back to America very humbled. You know, so many things we take for granted here in America, and it could be, you know, anything from air conditioning to you know, 3 square meals a day.
Right.
And where they, you know, sometimes even by Vietnamese standards, the poor Vietnamese standards, it's amazing that they sometimes don't know where their next meal is coming from.
I remember this. I remember talking to Leyna about this, and those were her exact words too. The fear of where does the next meal come from. We do have to take a short break. Cubi, stay with me. Kính thưa quý khán giả, quý vị đang theo dõi chương trình The Kristine Sa Show của đài truyền hình VNTV và ngay bây giờ Kristine đang ngồi với một người đại diện cho hội từ thiện Love Across the Ocean. Kristine Sa xin phép để ngừng chương trình cho một vài phần thông tin thương mại. Chúng tôi sẽ trở lại liền và tiếp chuyện thêm với anh Cubi Nguyen. Xin quý vị đừng đổi